All right, cool. All right, Mo, we're gonna start off with this one for you. All right, Washington football team at the Atlanta Falcons. Offense, defense, and coaching. And then who's gonna win the game and why?
Uh, I offense is a crapshoot to say. Because to be honest with you, and there's no disrespect to Matt Ryan, it almost looks both similar in struggles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But on the strength of us having McLaurin and seeing things, I'll say us right now when we don't turn the ball over, I'll take our offense right now. Of course, I'll take our defense. Defensively, I'll take our defense. Of course, Atlanta's defense has just been atrocious over the last decade, last year. Coaching wise, of course, I'm gonna take our coach. I'm gonna take Ron Rivera over first year head coach. And honestly, we lose this game, this could be getting real ugly. This right here could almost define your season right here. You can't lose this game. No disrespect to Atlanta. I try to be respectful to everybody, but we can't lose this game. But knowing who we are and because we struggle defensively right now, I can see this being a closer game than it should be. So I'm gonna go 30-24 Washington.
All right, Craig. Who has a better matchup of offense, defense, coaching? Washington football team at the Atlanta Falcons, and who's gonna win? Why in the score?
This is rough. Because I didn't expect Washington to be this bad on defense, but on offense, like I think it's tough. Like Matt Ryan to me is the better quarterback, obviously, but he's a statue. He doesn't move. So and they're not really like Kyle Pitts. I don't know what they're doing with him. They're running game. I think the best offensive player is Patterson, which is saying something because he's been in the league for years and he hasn't done anything. And all of a sudden now he's a Pro Bowler or something. He's playing crazy. Even Ridley, like I thought Ridley was going to step up this year. He hadn't done anything. It's just weird. It's a weird season. And then you look at the Washington football team. Heineke's there. He had his worst game last week. Terry McLaurin, obviously, is one of the better wide receivers to me in the league. De'Ami Brown can't catch, and I like De'Ami Brown, obviously. Humphrey's just non-existent. Logan Thomas is good. He's really good. They don't run the ball enough to me. But if I were to pick an offense, I would probably just lean slightly towards Washington. I think both of them kind of rank near the bottom of the league right now. On defense, like Washington has the better talent, but their defense just hasn't shown it. Like they were outclassed, and you can say they're outclassed in all three games. They could easily be 0-3. They could be 2-1, but right now they're 1-2. But I would lean more towards Washington's defense just because of the talent. And like I said, Ryan is a statue. If they can get some pressure on him, he's not gonna be mobile enough to get away from Chase Young or Payne or Sweat or any of those guys. So, I think they're in a definite. This is like a really good position for them. Like this is like a coming out type of game. It shouldn't have taken this long if it does happen, but I think it will happen, and maybe this will get them back on the right path going forward. Because I'm not saying this is a must-win game, but because they have 5 division games left in the season, so they can and they're playing in a weak division, or at least look weak on paper before unless Dallas just runs away with it. But this is almost like a must-win game. Coaching wise, I definitely would go with Ron Rivera. Arthur Smith, like I just don't. I mean, this is his first year, so obviously he doesn't really have much to go on from there. But Rivera's been around the league for a while. He knows the Falcons. Well, he knew the Falcons. I guess he knows Matt Ryan at least. Coaching against him. Obviously, this is a different offense, but he knows Mike Davis being a running back. So, well, maybe he doesn't, but I forgot he wasn't there last year with the Panthers. Dang. But it's pretty much, I think overall, I think I got to give it to Washington. I don't know if either offense can put up enough points. Like, even though Falcons won last week, it was a terrible game. I'm probably going to go 24-17. Actually, you know what? 24-14. I'm going Washington. 24-14. I think their defense steps up this week. They'll get the Matt Ryan like 3 or 4 times and pick him up a couple times. So,
all right, cool. Corey, matchup with offense, defense, and coaching. And who's going to win the game and why? A Washington football team at Atlanta Falcons.
I look at this game and I think that this could be a get-right game for Washington. I don't think Atlanta is a particularly good team. As Craig touched on, like they, used their top pick on a tight end and haven't really seemed to know how to utilize him to get him involved. The expectation was he was going to replace Julio in that offense, and you would think that they would make him more of a focal point. Calvin Ridley's kind of just been whatever. For Washington, after getting embarrassed by Buffalo last week, I think this is one that they really need to bounce back with. On paper, I think they have the advantage over Atlanta in all 3 categories: offense, defense, coaching. I think if Atlanta were to pull off the upset, that would be the point to sound the alarm, hit the panic button for Washington, because they have expectations of competing to win that division. You lose to Atlanta in a game that you having a bit of a rough start, losing Fitzpatrick, like you need to get a game like this. But I think they do win it. I'm going to go Washington 31-20.
Okay, so this is very interesting. All right, so I agree with all of you. So right now the matchup offense has to be watching the football team, but it's not like it's by a wide margin. Or it might be, but like nobody, like for both of y'all points, like where's Kyle Pitts at? Like I don't understand it. Mike Davis we know what he could do with the ball in his hands, but Cordell Patterson is the featured back wide receiver. Calvin Ridley is non-existent, but Arthur Smith is supposed to be an offensive guru, or is he? Is he's one of those hires like, it just looks like he doesn't. He's mismatched in a lot of areas. Like look, this is a lot. Head coaching is a lot, and I think he's like okay, wow. No wonder we had the 4th pick in the NFL draft. We're lacking talent on both sides of the ball, and we picked the tight end. And tight ends are known for adjusting. It's an adjustment period for tight ends in the NFL. But he should be a featured role. He should get the targets. Julio's not there. The guy can play. So offense, Washington football team. Defense, Washington football team. Even though we have the talent, I don't know what is going on. It looks like it's a lack of discipline and a lack of coaching. That's what the inside has been going on. Like somebody asked him, like, well, Chase Young, what's going on? And it's just, I think it's a lack of discipline. Like, come on, guys. Like, we're supposed to have the number 2 defense in the league. We have 4 first-round picks on the defensive line. The only person that has been consistent is Jonathan Allen. Everybody else has been inconsistent. So even with all that said, they still have a better defense in Atlanta. Coaching, I got to go with Ron Rivera once again, just because his background, who he has, even though who he has on his coaching staff. And I think he has a coaching experience. He just went to the playoffs last year, won a division in a weak division. But I think he'll be able to coach those guys up and get them right. And On the other side of the ball, this has been said multiple times, Arthur Smith looks lost. It's like the offense is non-existent, even though everybody knows that Matt Ryan is a capable quarterback. Right? Some teams would like to have Matt Ryan, but they might not because he doesn't look as good as he had, in the past. And maybe age is catching up to him, like Ben Roethlisberger. This might be a little early, but I don't know. So once again, this probably we'll know some other teams on here, but it's very few where a team just matches up like when it's the offense, defense, and coaching. So I think the Washington football team should dominate the game, and I have us winning 28-17. Only 17 is because it's going to be a late touchdown, garbage time. Is the words that my man Shannon Sharp calls it, empty calories. Somebody's going to get a fantasy touchdown in like the fourth quarter. So that's why. But I think the Washington football team is going to dominate the game.